The official history of the first-generation Mustang is incomplete. Behind the legend are engineering fixes that quietly dodged the recall list, corporate forecasts that were off by 20%, and horsepower claims that triggered lawsuits. We are counting down 10 revelations that challenge the sanitized story, from forgotten export variants and secret dealer-only parts to disputed dyno sheets. It starts with a fight over what to even call the car. In the 10th place, the Mustang's legendary name was anything but inevitable. The public story says Ford always intended to call its new pony car the Mustang, conjuring images of wild horses and American freedom. But inside Ford, the branding process was a pitched battle. More than 500 possible names, from Torino to Cougar, were debated in late 1963, as revealed by a marketing memo dated October 12, 1963. The internal code name, TThe, lingered on engineering drawings and would later resurface for export models. Only on April 17, 1964, did the press preview script confirm Mustang as the official badge. The now famous name was a last-minute compromise, not a foregone conclusion, and it set the tone for a car whose identity was shaped by corporate politics as much as by design. Number 9. The early Mustang's rear axle whine was more than a minor annoyance. It was an engineering flaw that nearly triggered a full-scale recall. The official story claims the 1965 to 1966 models delivered robust V8 performance with minimal issues. In reality, a 12% complaint rate surfaced as owners reported high-pitched gear noise and vibration under load. Ford responded quietly, launching dealer campaign 23S55 between 1965 and 1967. Rather than a public recall, dealers received a technical bulletin authorizing free replacement of the fatigue-prone hub bolt with a grade 10 variant and a revised torque specification of 85 pound-feet. Over 3,200 repairs were documented, yet the fix remained off the books, shielding the reputation of the Mustang while illustrating how early mechanical compromises were handled behind closed doors. 8th place, assembly plant variations turned Mustang authenticity into a moving target. The official story claims every 1964 to 1966 Mustang left the line identical, but the reality was a patchwork of VIN blocks and paint codes tied to where each car was built. Dearborn cars carried VINs in the 1A0 range. Lorraine used 1B and San Jose assigned 1C. Even the paint code for Calypso Blue split. Dearborn stamped it BC1, while Lorraine cars wore BC1A. This divergence surfaced in TSB number 174, which quietly corrected Lorraine's paint code error. These plant-level inconsistencies, documented in the TSB index from October 1964 to January 1966, mean that a Mustang's build location can make or break its provenance, details that collectors and restorers ignore at their peril. Number 7. The myth that all first-generation Mustangs were left-hand drive ignores a rare factory-sanctioned export program that sent American pony cars down under. The official story claims right-hand drive Mustangs were the work of backyard converters or specialist shops, but internal Ford Australia memos from 1965 to 1967 reveal a different picture. Ford shipped over 1,200 left-hand drive Mustangs directly from Dearborn, then contracted local workshops to perform complex conversions, swapping the steering box, pedal assembly, and instrument cluster wiring to meet Australian regulations. These right-hand drive cars featured unique carburetor jetting and emissions calibrations recorded in homologation sheets filed with the National Archives of Australia. Even the vehicle identification number prefix changed, marking these as distinct from their United States siblings. Fewer than 1,500 right-hand drive Mustangs were officially converted for Australia and New Zealand, making them some of the rarest first-generation variants and proof that the Mustang's global reach was more calculated and more technically involved than most enthusiasts realize. Number 6. Ford's SCCA racing eligibility relied on a playbook of hidden, dealer-only parts, never listed in public catalogs. The official line claimed the Mustang's Trans Am entries were just showroom models with a few bolt-ons. In practice, Ford quietly supplied select dealers with special competition performance cylinder heads, stamped CPH68, and SCCA Type 4 link rear suspension kits, coded P845SCC. These upgrades were not available to ordinary buyers, only dealers holding SEC CA-approved VINs, ending in 7, could order them. Internal TSB index entries from 1966 to 1969 reference these parts as special order chassis tuning packages, satisfying the 500-car homologation rule without alerting the public. This behind-the-scenes maneuvering let Ford field race-ready Mustangs while keeping the upgrades out of sight, bending the rules just enough to keep the SCCA inspectors guessing, and the competition at bay. Number 5. The first-generation Mustang's performance upgrades did not always come from the factory. The official story says buyers picked options from Ford's brochure, but a quiet network of dealer-only upgrades told a different story. In March 1965, Ford issued a service bulletin authorizing the T565 OE kit, a transmission conversion that let dealers install a 4-speed manual in 6-cylinder cars, something the factory never offered. Only dealers with the right code could order it, and just over 3,200 kits were sold, mostly in Southern California. Alongside the elusive K-code 289 engine, identified by its unique pad stamping, these dealer upgrades created a parallel market for hidden performance. Invoice scans and the top-flight catalog confirm these kits existed, offering a secret path to V8-level speed for buyers who knew where to ask. For collectors, spotting a true K-code pad or a documented T5 swap means uncovering a piece of Mustang history that never appeared in the sales literature. Number 4. Ford's 1969 Mustang sales forecast missed the mark by a staggering margin. The company set an internal projection in the third quarter of 1968 for 250,000 units, banking on the momentum of the previous year's redesign. The reality was harsh. Only 199,567 cars were produced, leaving a shortfall of nearly 20%. On November 15, 1969, a dealer profit warning landed in showrooms, citing unsold inventory and a backlog of unpainted bodies piling up at assembly plants. The miscalculation forced Ford to reroute excess chassis overseas, fueling the rise of rare export variants and reshaping model allocation around the globe. The episode stands as a reminder that even Detroit's most celebrated success stories were vulnerable to overconfidence, with spreadsheet errors leaving a tangible mark on Mustang history. Coming to the top 3, the so-called Mustang II prototype from 1963 shatters the myth that the first-generation Mustang followed a straight line from concept to showroom. The official story paints the 1964 Mustang as a fully formed breakthrough, but Ford's own design review memo dated October 18, 1963, tells a different tale. In that document, engineers evaluated a radical two-seat Mustang II concept with a 93-inch wheelbase, 2 inches shorter than production, and powered by a 150-horsepower inline-6. Even more striking, the prototype sported a one-piece composite roof, an early experiment with carbon fiber construction years ahead of its time. This car never made it to production, and its existence was quietly forgotten until its rediscovery in a 2020 Lost Concepts exhibit at the Ford Historical Museum. The Mustang II prototype stands as proof that the car's evolution was marked by design forks and abandoned ideas, not the seamless innovation story often told. Number 2. Ford's parts numbering system for the first-generation Mustang created a minefield for restorers, thanks to a series of technical service bulletins that quietly reassigned identical codes to different components, creating real chaos. The official story claims service parts were consistently cataloged, making restoration a straightforward process. In reality, TSB number 112 from January 1968 reassigned the brake shoe number B102A, originally for the 1965 V8, to a new 1968 6-cylinder application, sparking confusion as both versions circulated in dealer stockrooms. Just over a year later, TSB number 147 in March 1969 reused the F215 fuel pump number, but this time for a hydraulic unit, even as mechanical F215s remained in the system for 1966 models. The result: 2 cars with matching vehicle identification numbers and identical service tags could hide entirely different internals beneath their sheet metal. For anyone chasing authenticity or accurate repairs, these silent renumberings mean that a Mustang's part number is only half the story. Without the original technical service bulletins, even experts can be led astray by what appears to be a perfect match. And finally, in first place, the Mustang's most persistent performance myth unravels at the heart of the GT350 legacy. The official story boasts a thunderous 285 horsepower for the 1965 to 1966 Shelby GT350, a figure that lit up sales brochures and magazine covers. But the truth, preserved in Ford's own engineering logs and the 1966 Ford Performance Data Pack, tells a different tale. On the dyno, the same 289 cubic inch V8 consistently delivered just 272 horsepower, measured as net output with all accessories and exhaust in place. The difference is not just a rounding error, it is the classic battle between gross and net ratings, a technical sleight of hand that let marketing outpace reality. The controversy did not stay in the shadows. In 1967, Shelby American filed a lawsuit, case number 68C1024, alleging that Ford's advertising misrepresented the car's true capabilities. The dispute was quietly settled out of court, and the 285 horsepower claim remained in the public eye, but the engineering data never changed. For decades, enthusiasts have chased a number that existed only on paper, not on the track. The GT350's real-world muscle was formidable, but the legend was built on a foundation of inflated statistics, legal maneuvering, and the blurred lines between marketing and mechanical truth. In the end, the Mustang's greatest secret is not hidden in its hardware, but in the numbers that shaped its reputation. Across all 10 secrets, one pattern stands out. The Mustang's legend was shaped as much by improvisation, competing agendas, and quiet fixes as by design. Its legacy isn't polished, it's contested, evolving, and deeply human. Which hidden detail changed your view? Let us know below.